I'm not.
Should we ask them what they're doing? Excuse me, I've just seen you're acting a little bit suspiciously, just making sure you're behaving yourselves?
We are always behaving ourselves. I am anyway.
Oh, okay.
Always.
Well, how would someone know if they've been a victim of mind control? You tell me.
No idea.
Do you think you've been a victim?
Wear a t-shirt saying it.
Wouldn't they? Do you think you've been a victim of mind control? Well, if you went through police training, you probably have.
This is Rudkowski of WeAreChange.org here in, finally, beautiful London. Finally, it's not raining here. But one thing that you do notice about London is that a lot of people here are just stuck in this matrix, stuck following orders, not making eye contact, and just in a line, in a row, doing exactly what they're told. But there's a glitch in the matrix, and that glitch is Danny Shine. Danny is one of the most fascinating, amazing street performers, artists. What would you even use to kind of describe yourself? Because I just say hacker of Matrix.
To be honest with you, I don't really like to put myself in any particular box or label, because whatever I say, it's going to sound pretentious.
How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
You're not in the city today,
Not today. You're not in the city today.
No.
Why are there so many? Why are there so many of you lot around here?
No, it's just one of these days, sir. That's all. I remember you used to go outside St Paul's.
My megaphone.
Yeah, megaphone.
Yeah, I'm just about. Oh yeah.
I've seen it. I've been looking at your vlogs actually, your stuff on YouTube. Yeah. No, but you're all right though.
Good stuff. Yeah, nice to see you. Behave yourselves.
Yeah, I will.
Now, what I really like about Danny is not just his activism, not just him standing outside of the crowds, but your kind of philosophy, which is very different from the status quo. I mean, you kind of engage people on a day-to-day basis, even when there's no video cameras around. You just bullhorn and you speak to people. You engage authority figures, common people. What would you say would be your kind of philosophy or approach dealing with the Matrix?
Well, I guess if what we're really looking for, if what I'm really looking for is freedom, then I have to be really vigilant, because so for example, if I was talking to you before about an incident when I went to Tesco and I took my megaphone out and started talking, and the security guy got really triggered and angry and probably quite frightened. Yeah, and he came up to me and says, "You have no permission to do this," started attacking me. Now, unless I sort of just take a break and disengage from him, if I don't do that, then I basically have lost my freedom and I am being drawn into his reality. Yeah, so for me, an important part of the philosophy is about my own particular state of being, and I'm still learning, massively learning, because the programming took years and years to get in there, and it's, I shouldn't be surprised if it's going to take a little while to get out.
Yeah. Now, a lot of times when you're dealing with authority figures, they play by certain rule set. But a lot of those rules are very ridiculous, and they don't make sense in any way, shape, or form against just the natural process that things should be. It's like, I'm being told to do this, so I'm going to do this. And a lot of times they end up hurting individuals, and they don't understand just that basic philosophy of nonviolent communication. And I've kind of see you as like one of the masters of kind of nonviolent communication, because you deal with this on a day-to-day basis.
Excuse me, do you need any help? I help people who are approached by police officers. Are you all right?
Okay, I'm okay.
Great, good luck.
I'm fine.
Good luck.
What is your approach? What do you personally go through when you deal with an authority figure who's just trying to break the natural flow of things?
Well, again, it just goes back to my ability and to remember, which I often forget to do, but to remember to just cut off from it all and to count to 30, count to 60. It's the same thing, just keeping myself centered so that I don't get drawn into their world. And the thing is that they've been trained, as you saw earlier on. I believe that all training is mind control, and any organization that trains people makes them all think the same way. And I, for example, in my life, amongst other things, have been trained to sell drugs. Not a lot of people know this, but I spent several years as a drug pusher. And it's something that I haven't spoken about a lot because I'm quite embarrassed about it. I'd probably be a lot less embarrassed if I was selling things like, cannabis, or even if I was selling things like cocaine or ecstasy or anything like that. I probably wouldn't be so ashamed of what I'd done, because that's just really just doing business with someone who wants something, and it's their responsibility to actually make sure that what they're doing with it is safe or whatever. But what I did was I went around to doctors and I sold drugs, and I was trained to think that way. I was trained to think that would be a good idea to do. And so every organisation trains people to behave and think in a certain way, and a lot of them are completely unaware, as I was. When I'm with the police, one of the things that I've learned, or with authority figures, one of the things that I learned to do once I've meditated, if I remember again and have the presence of mind, is to ask them questions, and to keep asking them questions. Because when I ask a question, when you answer my question, you are falling into a trap, really, because you're falling into my world with assumptions, and with a question comes a whole bunch of assumptions, like even the assumption that I have to even answer your question. Right.
No, it's very important, and there's also a lot of self-reflection. There's also a lot of meditation. There's also a lot of inward looking into yourself and dealing with a lot of your own demons and a lot of the things that we've been doing that sometimes aren't the right things at all. And that's the toughest thing to face. You also deal with a lot of adversity, a lot of people lashing out when you're bullhorning and breaking that kind of status quo matrix. One point that stuck out to me is what you said on the bullhorn is people are dealing with their own problems, they don't know how to express it, and they express their anger towards you.
Yeah.
Can you go deeper into just that big statement that you made on the bullhorn?
Yeah. One of the parts of my journey, which I suspect will continue at least till I die, if not after, is the realization that actually I may be triggered by something or someone, but the moment the triggering is over, that moment, only I can really cause myself to be upset, angry, happy, or anything like that. And so I guess when I'm doing megaphoning, what I've learned, and I must tell you that my life at home, I feel a bit guilty when you sort of speak with me in such great terms, because I feel uncomfortable with that, because my life at home is not like that, and I find it hard to do this at home. But on the streets, when someone comes and attacks me, I kind of, it's so obvious to me that that's their issues, and they're just projecting their discomfort onto me. So in other words, or to put it another way, when I feel uncomfortable inside, one of the behaviors, adult, spiritually in line behaviors, is just to feel that feeling. And that's one, and we're running around avoiding feeling uncomfortable feelings, using all sorts of things. And what I find is, if I feel the feelings, they'll eventually pass and another feeling will come. And the same applies to good feelings. If someone comes past me on the street and gets really angry, what's going on is that something's been triggered inside of them. They don't feel comfortable. Usually there's some fear somewhere going along, right? And instead of just feeling, oh look, wow, there I feel some fear. What's that? What's going on? You see, that would be the enlightened thing to do. Ooh, yeah. But instead of doing that, we're not trained to do that. We're trained to, right, what's the source of my discomfort? Oh, it's you, right? And off we go. Yeah. And of course, that is going to lead to a rather difficult life.
Yep.
Because everything around you, you can't control the stuff around you.
Yep, and a lot of people kind of self-medicate. They kind of close themselves off to any kind of true feelings and emotions in their lives, and they just go about their daily routines, and there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of unnatural kind of processes, because we're not meant to sit at a 9-to-5 job. We're not meant just to live for the weekends and get hammered and stoned and freaking zombified to the way where we don't even have to think at all in any way, shape, or form, just to do what we're told. So going through that, one of the powers that I think people forget is the power of choice, the power of their reaction, how they choose to react to certain situations. And just seeing the way you react to certain situations has been brilliant, because it's so unordinary compared to everyone else. Because naturally people would, like a cop comes up to somebody, like naturally they would obey everything that they say. But it takes the few committed individuals to say, no, I'm gonna not just obey these stupid laws and orders because it's written on a piece of paper. I'm gonna do things differently, and things should be differently, obviously, with the way we're living here. Is there anything else that you would like to expand on your work or just tell the audience about?
The only thing I'd like to tell the audience is just to remind them that they've got a wealth of, that there is an infinite amount of wisdom that they can tap into, but the way to tap into the wisdom, I think, must involve some kind of going inside or some kind of meditative practice, or maybe not even that, but that there is so much going on in the world, and there's so much wisdom out there, and a lot of it is accessible from within. I don't know how to explain it properly, but and that's why I often say that, because I also feel uncomfortable, people looking up to me. Yeah. I find that very, very uncomfortable, and I don't think it's healthy for me or them, because we're all equal.
Exactly. Don't look up to any man, and the true power is within themselves, and a lot of times that power is meant through personal independent journeys, and everyone has their own independent journeys. But watching your journeys on YouTube, I freaking love it, I have to say. And I hope more people take from the philosophy and just live free and aren't afraid to get in touch with those emotions. Where can people find out more information about you, and also what's your YouTube channel?
YouTube channel, Social Experimentalist, Danny Shine on Facebook. But I would really, the other thing I would say, I think I don't want to leave on a frustration, because it's all okay and it's all meant to be like it is, and it's also definitely part to do with me and my lack of organisation. But at the same time, I feel like that this world, the Matrix, is so pregnant for so much fun. It's like, why are there not hundreds of people doing not exactly this, but going out there and messing around with it? It is waiting for you, everyone. It's waiting. There's so many things you can do. You can just go get a sign with, if you want to put everything is okay on it, I don't care. You can put whatever you like, just an interesting sign, and just go into different places. And you can start like that. Just go into your local supermarket and just start talking. Just start talking your local supermarket louder than you normally would, yeah? Don't worry, there's nothing they can do about it. If you want my help with it, I'm happy to help people. I'd love to see more engagement, and it's such a shame not to do it. Yep. It's just, I wish I had my youth back, because I can go to town every day of the week and not spend a penny and have like an absolute ball. Why pay for entertainment when you can create it? Exactly. And be part of it?
Yep, and don't let anything stop you, because the only thing that's stopping them is you. Yeah. Danny, love you. Thank you so much.
Give us a hug. I don't know if anybody can help me. I've actually got a bit of a problem, and that is that about 4 hours ago, I was at a friend of mine, like a hippie type, and he gave me some lunch, and he included some mushrooms, and he didn't tell me they were magic mushrooms, and I had quite a lot of them. Basically too many, and I'm feeling a bit jittery now, and I don't know how to explain it, but it's as if I feel like I'm in a multi-dimensional movie and you guys are like the extras. Now, if there's anybody here, I don't know if that's true or not, maybe this is a mushroom. Anybody here had experience with taking mushrooms? You, sir? You look like you probably have, haven't you? Have you ever done mushrooms? No, why not? You haven't got hold of any. That's a pathetic excuse. They grow out in the wild. I mean, really, you should be ashamed of yourself. Anybody here can help this man. He's never been able to get hold of any mushrooms. If there are any mushroom suppliers here, you've got I presume are you interested, yeah? If there are any mushroom suppliers? Yes, we've got one interested party here.
A lot of people have a lot of different experiences, but the main ones are really amazing, kind of euphoria, positive messages to you that you need to hear, and other ones are little elves.
And what do we talk about, Luke? We talk about the fact that there's an awakening going on. Well, what does that mean? The alarm clock's just gone off. Are we getting up? What time is it? No. Awakening, another word for awakening, or another phrase for